Welcome back to Persona 3 FES The Answer. Now, if you're just coming to this playlist and aren't watching the videos as they're being uploaded, then there's a lot I have to fill you in on. So if the visuals look a little different, that's because I'm using a different PlayStation 2 for this. My old PS2 died in between the last part and this one. To be fair, I've had it pretty much since the console came out, so it's almost 18 years old now. I'm really surprised it lasted this long. But anyway, I had to order a replacement PS2 Slim off of eBay, and for some reason, visually it looks a little bit different on this. I'm using the exact same video cable, the console's settings are the same, but it looks a little bit different. Also, the sound might be different. That's because I'm using a new microphone. I'm now using an Audio-Technica standing microphone as opposed to a headset, and hopefully this sounds a lot better. So, anyway, one other thing to show is that in between the last part and this one, I grinded a lot. I'll be showing that later, because I want to go in the Velvet Room here. There's actually a lot of personas that I picked up that I can use as fusion fodder. Among them, Clotho, Lachesis, and Atropos. People have asked me how difficult making Norn is in The Answer. You have to find the 3 pieces through shuffle time, so it takes a lot of grinding. But I actually do have all 3 of the fates, so I can actually fuse her. So if you enter the Velvet Room at this point, Elizabeth actually has special dialogue. And it's one that I've been looking forward to that I really wanted to show. This song's been referenced, I believe, during the journey. I know that Persona 4 Arena definitely references it, and I think Q does as well. You know, it's not just Igus. I've personally been having a very hard time lately, and I actually really needed that. Thank you, Elizabeth. Well, thankfully the tiredness system isn't in The Answer, because otherwise there's no way we'd be able to overcome it in a single night. So, let's get fusing. There are a lot of very strong personas that I can make now. So first up, if we try and go Clotho, Lachesis, and Atropos in a triple spread, we can make Norn. Level 62, so I'm only just high enough to get her. Margarola's not that great. What do I want? Wind Boost is probably what I want, because that does stack with Wind Amp, and I probably also want Masuku Kaja. That's my ideal skill combination. However, there are actually some other personas that I could make if I don't make Norn. I could use those 3 to make personas like, namely Odin, and I would really, really like Odin. I can also get Anubis right now. Actually, I do really want to get rid of Mott, because I feel like Mott is definitely showing his age. Those stats aren't that great for this point in the game, and I've got some good skills on him, but I'd like to pass those down to something else. Anubis is pretty decent, and Makara Khan's not bad, and only 1 level, especially since it affects the entire party in this game, but I want to just quickly check which combinations I have that can make Odin. Okay, with Mott and Barong, I can make Chernobog. People have told me that Chernobog eventually learns Null Wind, so I could have made Chernobog learn that and then pass that down to Thor to get Thor with Null Wind. That would have required me to grind a bit more levels, though, at the time. But you seem to be a pretty decent recipient of a lot of these skills, although you have so many good skills to pass down. What do I want on you? I probably want Auto Tarakaja and Auto Rakukaja, and probably also Null Fear, just because that helps sometimes, especially against Ghastly Whale enemies. Before I do that, though, let me see if there's anyone else I can make out of Barong. Get Melchizedek with Kikuri Hime. But Thor already kind of fulfills your niche. Thor already has Vicious Strike, though Medea Rahan is great and Growth 3 is also great. Could also get Byakko. But Byakko has 2 weaknesses, including 1 to instant death, which is very unfortunate. I can get Raphael now if I wanted to. Oh, Null Charm! Actually, I want that. Because it's... I'm not going to be very likely to get Narcissus Flower here, and Null Charm is going to be really, really good to have, so... Might like to fuse Raphael just for that, actually. Can either go for Daisojo or Hokuto Seikun. I like Daisojo, so I'll probably be keeping you. Yeah, so with Atropos, I can make Odin, but don't want to get rid of Daisojo, and I kind of want Norn. But I really, really, really want Odin, because like I said earlier in the playthrough, Thunder Rain is just insane. Lachesis can't really make anything. What about Clotho? Yeah, it's really just Atropos. But let's quickly look through, what does Hokuto Seikun make? Not a lot except Raphael, Kikuri Hime, and Barong can give me Melchizedek, or I could fuse Mott and Barong to get Chernobog. Decisions. Kikuri Hime and Cert makes Raphael, but I kind of want Cert to learn Ragnarok before I fuse him away. I'm just going to think about this, because Melchizedek, for your skills, you really aren't that bad. You've got Growth 3 and Medea Rahan, which are great fusion fodder skills. But I do want to get rid of Mott, and Chernobog is not bad either, especially since you start with Null Slash, which is also great fusion fodder. And you are immune to Dark without being weak to Light, and that's a really good asset to have. There aren't many personas like that. Although that's kind of useless because I already have Daisojo that's immune to both, so scratch that. It's also probably about time I got rid of Titania, but there's not that much decent I can make out of her. I mean, I could get Pazuzu, but I doubt I could get you with, can I get you with Quad Elements? Given that you're Devil Arcana, you're probably a status inheritance type, so that's not very likely. So the decision here is really between Melchizedek or Raphael. Evade Strike's not bad, let's go for this. Hopefully this fusion session doesn't go on that long. I actually want to get some exploration done too. So that's one persona fused. Let me just quickly check if I can make anything out of Raphael. Ironically, actually, that would get rid of Mott. It's just kind of funny having you with Null Charm. That just seems ironic for some reason. Evil Smile plus Ghastly Wail isn't bad either. And you do have Maziodyne. You also have 2 weaknesses. And it does feel weird getting rid of Raphael immediately after fusing him. But Lilith is a very strong persona. And I still feel like I don't really need Evil Smile and Ghastly Wail that much because I have Daisojo. I might as well just try and Samsara everything. I mean, that's a pretty high chance of instant death, and that only requires you to use 1 move rather than 2. But I could get you with some other moves, like those 2, and Mudaon isn't bad either. But I definitely want Null Charm. Actually, I could get Null Fear and Null Charm, and make you my answer to status. Okay, Null Charm, Null Fear, Auto Rakakata, which is good because I'd primarily be using you for defensive purposes anyway, and Evade Strike. That's not bad. Let's do this then. Yeah, Lilith, I believe, required one of Elizabeth's requests in order to fuse during the journey, which a lot of people trying to make Beelzebub had major problems with. Because, yeah, you need all of the other devil personas to fuse Beelzebub, and Lilith is one of them, and if you don't have the item that's needed to fuse her, which I believe is from an Elizabeth request that expires, no ultimate devil persona for you. Which is actually pretty annoying because the Devil Arcana is a pretty easy one to max out in the journey, but I digress. Yeah, see, Atropos can make Odin, but you can make Hellbiker. Yeah, Stun Silence at you inheriting Sexy Dance. But Hellbiker is actually a pretty good persona. It has Repel Fire, very good fire skills, Fire Amp, and you can inherit some pretty good skills, but you are weak to electric, unfortunately. And yeah, that luck is ridiculously bad. I kind of forget off the top of my head exactly what luck affects in this game, but it is very, very low for you. Now, what was I going to do? Well, now that I've already gotten rid of Mott, I can actually do this without any qualms. Null Poison. What can I get you? I probably want Counter-Strike and Invigorate 1. There we go, Counter-Strike and Invigorate 1. Let's go. Also, you get Auto Mataru in 1 level, which is a really, really great skill. But I already have that on 4, but still, the more Auto Matarus, the better, because that's amazing. Okay, that is the Null Light hard item, I believe. Which, if we get that, would be great for Koromaru, so I'll definitely take getting that. It's a shame that you can't register personas to the compendium. And with that done, all I have left to do is do my 3 Fates spread here, Norn. There we go, Wind Boost. Also, regular Gurula is going to be useful if I just need to use a cheap way of hitting a wind weakness. It can be useful to pass down low-level elemental skills to personas because they cost minimal SP, and often knocking down an enemy is enough to ensure that everything dies to an all-out attack, so you sometimes don't need to spend the massive SP on the powerful spells. So, that's Norn fused, and that should be everything that I want from this fusion session. Let's see. Yeah, got some pretty good ones. Actually, we're not high enough level to get Seth. Oh yeah, we can get Siegfried at this point too. Yeah, a lot of good personas open up in the high 50s and early 60s. And those are actually some pretty good skills to be passing down to you. And Temper Slash, Power Charge, and Auto Masuku is good. Also High Counter in 1 level, because High Counter is incredibly broken in this game. Yeah, I think I know for a fact now that High Counter in Persona 5 is a 20% chance of countering as opposed to a 50% chance of countering. And by countering, I mean you're immune to a physical attack and it bounces right back at the enemy. It's pretty insane. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just show you everyone's stats because I grinded a lot between the last part and this one. I grinded everyone up to level 55. Because the enemies in the next area are in the high 50s to early 60s. So, yeah, no way was I going into that at my levels. Also, speaking of high counter, there's that. Oh yeah, Akiko has Fistmaster now, which... I'm sorry, it's still hard not to laugh at the name of that skill. You don't learn Dear Rahan until level 60. Metis has a fairly decent assortment of skills. I've noticed that her stats are a little low compared to the rest of the party, though. I think they get higher later in the game. And Koromaru also has high counter now. Also got Masuku Kaja. I'll need to remember that because he tends to never use that unless you put him on heal/support. So, who am I going to bring into the next area? Well, there are a lot of enemies that are weak to ice, so I'm going to be taking Mitsuru. There are also a lot of enemies that absorb or null wind, but a few that are weak to it too. And there's also some that are weak to strike, so I'm going to go ahead and bring Metis. And then I'm going to... Who will I bring for my last slot? I recall there's a couple of things that are weak to light in here, but... I honestly forget who I've used the most or the least so far. Let's go with... I think I'll go with Akihiko for now. And you'll switch with Koromaru. And let me see if I have any better equipment. This might take a little bit. Plus 30 SP or Charm medium odds. That'd actually stop her from using Marin Karen as much. But I like the plus 30 SP on her. I'm gonna go with Charm for now, just to see how that works out. Yeah, I thought I had something better than the Robe of Warding. Oh, and I found a bunch of these, and these are female only. Also, anything better than the Sorcerer's Mark? I found a lot of accessories in sword cards. Also, by the way, I am really disappointed. These things are just high chance of dodge against piercing, not what they actually say. They should repel pierce, but no, the name is a lie. You, however, should definitely have the Eye of Ice. Yeah, I like what we've got. I'm gonna save because I got a persona with a hard item, and then I'll see you at the next area. So, into the Abyss once more. We only have 2 areas left, and I am very glad that I'm going to get a break from Tolima, because I was in there grinding for a very, very long time. So we're on to the next area, Judeca, which is named after one of the most famous traitors, Judas Iscariot. I personally think this would be for traitors to friends, but according to Dante, it's for traitors to masters or benefactors. So, on to the next area, where the enemies are very, very powerful. Yeah, she should be sending powerful presences everywhere, because the enemies here are pretty scary. Also, the percussion's got very intense here. I really like it. It's almost like we're past the sorrowful reflection on the past, and we're on to just sheer determination to continue forward. It's pretty great. Anyway, let's see if we can... There's no enemies that are showing up here. Okay, there's one over here. And it's a purple shadow right off the bat. That bodes well. Well, if we get severely beaten up from this, there's a leaving point right next to it. The Phantom Hero. These things have no weaknesses, and I believe they use some instant death elements, so I'm going to just go and switch to Soldier. And they look like nothing we've ever seen before, not even in the journey, which is kind of awesome. They have a lot of HP, and like I said, no weaknesses. And they do have a lot of powerful attacks. They're also very, very high level. And let's see how you handle this. Probably quite well, because they're pretty strong. There we go, Drain Fire, Repel both instant death, and they use Muda on. So yeah, I'm actually making a good choice with my persona here. Really, there's nothing else to do except just hit them until they die. Instant death won't work on them, they have no weaknesses. There's really not that much else you can do here. If you're under-leveled, though, these things are a major threat. I almost got completely wiped by them when I tried practicing this area before I grinded. Yeah, they can also Mind Charge and use Almighty skills, which is terrifying. They also seem to be pretty evasive, too. Okay, they Mind Charge you, Power Charge. Let's hope that helps. Okay, they're both Mind Charged. That's kind of scary. I'm going to check the turn order after this, just to make sure when you're going. Okay, one of them's going second, one of them's not going until fifth, and that thing's likely to get devastated by menace thanks to a power charge. So, that's another one down, and yeah, these things are a lot easier if you're appropriately leveled. They're terrifying if you're anything below level 55. Oh, unfortunately I didn't get a card, but that's still a lot of experience. And Soldier gets a pointless level up because he's already learned all of his skills. Growth 3, I believe, gives you 100% of the experience from fights, even if you don't participate in them, which is pretty awesome. Okay, got the preemptive on you. I was kind of thinking I wouldn't for a second. And what do we got here? Surprisingly, these things are already distressed, but this is Infinite Sand. One of the few sand enemies to not be weak to physical. In fact, it's actually immune to... I should have switched to Norn. These things use wind, so Norn is great here. But they actually drain Pierce and resist Slash. They are, however, weak to ice, so was lucky Mitsuru used my Buffalo. In an earlier attempt at this, because I didn't actually die or anything, but embarrassingly, my microphone wasn't plugged in. Still learning the ropes of this new microphone. But an earlier attempt at this, Mitsuru just refused to use my Buffalo on those things, even though it makes perfect sense since they're all weak to ice. I wasn't even paying attention. I think it was 2? Yep, actually got it. So 7 cards are starting to show up, but we didn't get a 7 experience card there. Unfortunately, a lot of the weapons you can get out of Shuffle Time here are things that I already have, and somebody's falling behind, and it's Nettus. So, yeah, let's get you caught up, otherwise we might have battles where you're not participating, and that would be annoying, mainly because you're not getting experience. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, you're probably the, yes, one of you is a Cyclops at least. The Fierce Cyclops and the Noble Seeker. This is an annoying combination because I like to finish the Fierce Cyclopses with instant death, but the Noble Seeker's immune to both of them, so I can't really use Samsara. In fact, the Noble Seeker repels them, though that's not a threat to Soldier because he's immune to light. I'm gonna wait for a second, but the Fierce Cyclops... The reason why I want to get rid of it quickly with instant death is because it has Last Resort, which is essentially self-destruct / explosion from Pokemon. So if you weaken it a lot, it can blow up. It also uses wind, I believe, so Norn also helps in resisting that.
Be careful. Fire
Drain
isn't
Slash
working.
and Drain Fire, it also has... Oh, it does have Mazionga, so Norn is kind of weak to that. But the main thing that I'm worried about is Last Resort, although Power Charge Myriad Arrows hurts a lot, especially if you're really unlucky and you get two of them that both Power Charge and both use Myriad Arrows one after another. That thing's HP is getting a little low, I'm actually a bit scared.
I'll scan the target.
I'm gonna Hammer on it. Because it's not like I can really use Samsara. Well, I mean, I could. But I don't want to waste the SP. And no scan.
Couldn't analyze it in time.
I don't know why Fuka thinks that's worthy of gasping. Oh, come on, Mitsuru. Please let your massive damage Bufudyne actually did do it. And Mitsuru is hitting very, very hard with her Dyne spells. And Akihiko hits pretty hard with Zeodyne at this point, too. So yeah, it's a huge step up from Dyne to, from La to Dyne. We're starting to see that, and Dyne plus Boost and Amp, which is what Norn has, is even better. Okay, that's an interesting combination. Mighty Beast, which these things look pretty cool, and the Lustful Snake. The Lustful Snake is another thing on this floor that's weak to ice. Yeah, that is probably something disturbing, so I won't say it. And the beasts, though, I'm going to actually go for Thor because you're probably going to use strike attacks. Even though I seem to remember that you're probably weak to light and immune to dark, but I could be wrong about that. Well, that's going to hit the weakness on the snake anyway.
Such persistence.
That's good. Let me just quickly check my recording to see if, yes, my microphone is actually picking up, so that's good. Okay, glad we got the scan in then, because we probably won't have much of an opportunity. It's going to be dead very soon. But it has Hammer on, Archidyne, Marin Karen, it can heal, and it does drain wind. So, like I said earlier, a lot of enemies in this area are, they are either immune to wind or weak to it. I still love how their ball and chains fly up like a balloon when they're status. It's pretty weird. I don't think I saw that very much during the journey. Okay, there we go, did get the scan. And as I thought, weak to light repels dark. I mean, it's the way they look that kind of shows that. They look very shadowy, even though they are shadows. So that's kind of pointless. And what are you going to do? Tarukaja. Completely an absolute non-threat, because you're going down to Metis' new Executioner's Axe, which is kind of a scary weapon name. The Executioner's Axe makes me think of, okay, good, we found the stairs. In the GBA Fire Emblem games, the Berserker class that's not Hawkeye-specific version of it, I always thought that class looked like its sprite looked like an Executioner. But we have the Minotaur 2 here. And once again, I'm going to wait, just to see what you do. I should just mention, I'm recording this on a different laptop right now, and because of that, I don't have easy access to my notes, so it's harder for me to actually look at what I've said about enemies. Okay, weak to dark, that's actually pretty serviceable. Resistant to everything physical and has a ton of HP. It does have both Deathbound and Primal Force, though. I thought you'd be a physical attacker. Does look pretty cool, though. Anyway, for some reason, the way that Elgato HD is set up on this computer is that it's always maximized, and I can't turn it into a window. Yes, there's probably some setting that will do that, but anyway. What can I do here? Does Lilith have anything dark? I mean, you could have had something dark, but I chose not to pass that down. That has actually come back to bite me. But you are not immune to wind. So I feel like my best bet is to go for Wind Boost, Wind Amped, Margarodyne. Yeah, that's pretty powerful. Now imagine that Mind Charged.
I couldn't finish it off.
Uh-oh, there's Primal Force. Which, again, has the most bizarre Japanese name ever. Innocent Tack? What does that even mean? And let's just keep, well, that's good. About to just say keep hitting it until it dies, but now we can do that to an even greater extreme, all out attack time. And it's gone.
Keep your filthy hands.
Yeah, Thor does have auto Mataru, and in fact, now that I think about it, that's probably the reason why I keep seeing such big damage numbers on. That's 4, and I think that's also 4. I'm intentionally picking a curse card, and that's a lot of experience, because the stairs are right here.
My skill level.
I thought everyone would level up out of that, and let's go, because I just picked a curse card. I've never actually seen the Reaper show up in the answer. I feel like it almost showed up once because I just cut off a Fuka line before I went down a floor. But I'm kind of glad it hasn't. I'm still debating whether or not I should actually fight the Reaper with Thunder Rain in the answer just to show. Because I actually forget if there's any specific reward for being the Reaper in the answer. I don't think there is. But I don't know how much experience... Also, yeah, the piano's much higher pitched as well in this song, so... I feel like I've been using the Fuka's music a lot less than I should be. Also, I forgot to scan you, but you are basically weak too. I've said everything I can about you. But the Daring Gigas and the Growth Relic are new.
Give me a sec. I'll scan the target.
In fact, Norn is good for this, because the Daring Gigas is weak to wind, and the Relic uses wind. So at the moment, yeah, I'm scanning the Gigas. But like I was saying, I feel like I'm using Fuka's songs a lot less than I should be, but I actually really like the music in the dungeons in the answer, just the way that it gradually... It's definitely better than the way Tartarus gradually got more and more intense as it went on, because Tartarus's changes in music were very, very subtle. So this thing, yeah, weak to wind, and it has Sexy Dance. Yeah, also has Makara-Khan to cover its wind weakness, which is kind of a problem. Which makes it a priority when fighting enemies that have magical weaknesses. And also, speaking of enemies that have magical weaknesses, that Relic does not. It's actually weak to Strike. And Akihiko's going to find that out right now, by complete accident. Yes, damn you, random inanimate Relic thing. And I think I can just shoot you. Goodbye. Don't want any sexy dance today. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Daring Gigas is one of the enemies that showed up in Kanji's dungeon in Persona 4. I think that was last, although it could have been before. I sometimes lose track when they go up that quickly. And Cert, great. That's not quite Ragnarok, but it is Miragidyne. Yeah, I know that when you finally learn Ragnarok, I'm going to have fun with that, because I'll be able to yell out, I am Asgard's Doom, whenever I do that. Yeah, what happened in that movie actually does have basis in Norse mythology. So what was that, Colossus? 1 less accuracy? I think I'll take that. Yeah, I thought it would be a massive hammer. Actually, that looks pretty cool. Now, you want to be careful of small shadows here, because they're often something that's very dangerous. Yep, I thought it would be you. Remember this guy, the World Balance? One of the most infamous bosses from the journey? It's now a basic enemy in the answer, and you want a persona that has no weaknesses for this, because it uses pretty much every single element against you. It also has a ton of HP, and instant death won't work on it, as is the case with a lot of enemies that instant death won't work on in this game. However, Mitsuru's Bufudyne and Akihiko's Zeodyne tend to do a lot to it. Again, the difference between Dyne and La.
It doesn't seem like darkness will work.
So, it has every element, although only the multi-targeting skill, so it can't actually get 1-mors off of these. Which is good, because the World Balance's entire strategy as a boss was focused around getting 1-mors and exploiting your weaknesses.
Still alive.
If this was Persona 4 or 5, this thing would actually be a pretty big threat, because it would be getting 1-mors every time it hit a weakness with its multi-targeting attacks. It still hurts a lot with them, though. And yeah, no matter what you're weak to, this thing has a way to hit it. So, if you got a Persona with no weaknesses, that's really the way to go here. And wow, Akihiko has blown through a lot of his SP. Probably thanks to just recently learning Zeodyne, but currently not having the SP to make full use of it. It's at least better than learning, what was it, like Fire Break really, really early in the game, where the SP cost on that is just completely stupid. I still love that. The quote, I mean, not the SP cost on on certain things being completely stupid. Don't think you should have done that, but oh well. Akihiko's probably going to end up healing too. Yeah, I thought you would. I could try and use Mediarama, but that would require switching to a persona that does have weaknesses, and that's a problem. You power charged, didn't you? Don't think you did. That's your standard damage with that, I think. Do I have... I mean, I could try using a B. What am I thinking? You have Mediarama, Daisojo. I'm stupid. You might have also noticed Amrita there, so that wasn't there before. When I was grinding, Daisojo had a skill mutate. Oh, that's not good. That could be death to a lot of people. It was death to no one, thankfully. But yeah, when I was grinding, I had a skill mutation, and it was for Diarahan, and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna be getting personas that learn Mediarahan very, very soon. And I already have Mediarama, which is pretty decent for healing purposes, so I thought, might as well have If it was Mediarahan, I wouldn't have changed it, but might as well have had Diarahan change. And so I did have it change, and it turned into Amrita, which cures all status problems of the party, which I really could have used against certain bosses earlier on, just saying. So I'll definitely be keeping that for a while. Hi there. Purple Shadows give decent experience, but honestly the regular enemies in this floor give just as much, because they're so strong. Haven't scanned any of you yet, so I might as well still show this fight.
Give me a sec. I'll scan the target.
I could do some pretty big weakness hits with Thor, or I could just play it safe and go for Norn, who is immune to your skills growth relic. Well, most of them at least. And that's both the growth relics down, because that's a strike attack. So, weak to wind, it has Muda on, but no boost, thankfully, and it repels both instant death elements. It also has a lot of fire skills. But I still like bringing Mitsuru to this floor, because there's just so many things weak to ice that it's just worth it.
It's still alive.
Yeah, if I had had those relics scanned, then Akihiko would have tried to hit this physically. And this is actually a really, really good thing, because, yeah, congratulations, Seeker, you just betrayed your ally, because now that you're enraged, you are guaranteed to use physical attacks, which, because they're strike, are actually effective against this, and because you're enraged, it's going to do a lot of damage. So, nice one. That shadow just lived up to this area being named after one of the circles of Cocytus. It was a traitor. So, let's keep going. There are actually a lot of new enemies in this area, so I've got my work cut out for me when it comes to showing everything. Oh, I was about to say, and that's one of them, but it's not. However, you are very, very weak to Norn. I had a feeling I wouldn't even need the all-out attack. Had a feeling they'd all just die. Because Wind Boost, Wind Amp, plus Weakness, that's pretty cool. I seem to remember there's one Persona game where Osset is pretty decent, and really, another Soul Blade. Those are useful in the journey because the protagonist can use them, but here only Mitsuru can, and she already has 2, so I don't need any more. Yes, it's good selling fodder. So, another hand. The hands are just getting bigger and bigger. This one has a random weakness every turn, and it's immune to everything that it's not weak to, apparently. So, it's pretty much just pure luck whether or not you take them down, and they're still only worth money, not experience. Okay, stairs are there. I sort of want to get through this place quickly, because Akihiko is running low, and that's probably a balance. It is.
Only one enemy. You've surprised it.
You know what? Too much effort. I'm going to be wasting too much SP to try and kill that thing. And even though it is worth a lot of experience, the other enemies in this floor are too. Oh, Crusher Fist. That's probably better than what Akihiko currently has. Let's see. Although I did get what he currently has out of a rare chest. But no, that's considerably better than what he has, so definitely going with that. The weapon names are pretty excessively manly here. Crusher Fist! Colossus! Or, I guess Soul Blade isn't. So let's see what you are. Hopefully you're something new.
My skill level has
Mega level up on
increased.
everyone. And nice! Yeah, I love this area because the chests are always up on these platforms where the shadows can't get to you. Although you can certainly get to the shadows, as I accidentally found out while trying to get that chest.
Enemies. It's weak.
Yet another battle that Norn can trivialize.
3 enemies left.
I was a little hesitant about fusing Norn at first, but now I'm glad I did. Goodbye, Seekers.
Enemy defeated.
Wow, 800 damage? And a level up for Igus out of that. And I thought a Persona would level up too, because that was a lot of experience. And it's Daisoljo again, unfortunately. I've really got everything I need out of Daisoljo, though Daisoljo is still pretty great. So let's grab this. Okay then. Well, Igus can't wear that, and neither can Metis, so I'm so sorry, Mitsuru. Although I'd rather have it on Yukari. Not for that reason, but more for the fact that it's good defense. Resist Ice Medium. You're already immune to that. Oh, I forgot that I had your summer outfit. I can also give her that. You know what? Let's just give her the summer outfit, because it's slightly better defense, and it's at least more respectful of her than the Spike Bra would be. So yeah, there's Mitsuru's summer outfit. Oh, this music sounds really cool now. I love it.
It's weak against ice. Use Bufu skills.
So here is the Infinite Sand scan. You know, I'll take the Persona. Might be good for fodder later. And another level up on someone. Oh yeah, you have Growth 3. And Auto Matara, which is great. And Akasha Arts is going to be pretty good too. So I guess we'll finally have that again, because I guess learned that on Athena in the journey, but no Athena in the answer, sadly. Even though Igus does have a voice clip for calling her out. Just like she has voice clips for calling out every party member Persona. Yes, just so the game wouldn't crash if you hacked them. That wasn't a bad Persona card, but I want the 7 experience. Gonna have to take the rest of the party through this area just to level up a lot. And there we go, finally got you. Okay, some more money. I guess I'll have to do a shopping trip sometime eventually. At this point, I probably just want to find the stairs, because... Saw you a little too late. But that wasn't a preemptive for some reason.
There's one enemy.
Which I'm kind of thankful for, because it's you. Yeah, it's no surprise they made that thing a mini-boss in the true final dungeon in Persona 4. Because it definitely was pretty infamous in this game. It's arguably been nerfed in its answer incarnation as a regular enemy, but I'm thankful for that. Very, very thankful, otherwise it would be just... Yeah, imagine if you get one more all the time. I wonder if it still has its, okay, this group of enemies really does not like Daisoljo, so I guess I can just show this battle, because it will probably be quick. But I wonder if it still has its AI where, I know that in the journey as a boss, if you tried to use magic mirrors, it would just spam Megadola like the Reaper.
Enemy defeated.
Well, that's fair.
That's the last one.
You're the other one who wasn't weak to that, so I guess it's only fair that missed. Still can't believe the PS2 Slim is so tiny. Might seem like a random tangent, but it's the size of a small book. It is less than, like, it's almost a quarter of the width of the original, and less than half the size. It's really crazy they're able to miniaturize it like that. Only a few years after it first came out, too. Yeah, I know I'm not getting as good visual quality, but, I mean, you know, as some people have said, these are, I might say those Mirage Sound or something else, these are PS2 games. It's not like they're going to look that great anyway, unless you use an emulator with super upscaling or something like that. And really, I just want to be able to... Because that's one thing that I realize when all these, like when it comes to all these consoles breaking down, it's like, I have a huge library of games, and I've kept this collection, and I intend to keep my collection of games for hopefully a very long time. and maybe show future generations them someday. But the problem is, the games are likely to outlive the consoles. Because... Very close. Okay, that's good. We only need to go a few more floors. Because, yeah, like, the fact that my PS2 is dead means that me keeping all of these PS2 games is just kind of... Like, I mean, you know, what's the point if the console itself is dead? I mean, I suppose that is what digital re-releases are for, but I like to keep my old collection of games, and I like to think that my old collection of games will still be able to be played for a while to come, but sadly the consoles might just not live long enough to do that. Which is why, it's just annoying that so many places don't sell older consoles anymore. And that you pretty much have to look to places like eBay or other sites. I mean, there are some like retro console stores around where I live, which is good, but those places really need to stay running just so that people who have collections of old games can continue to play them. What we got here? More stairs. Because I had a somewhat lengthy Velvet Room session at the start of this part, I'm kind of speeding through this here. And here we are, 7th floor, the boss is on the 8th. The bosses in this particular block of the Abyss of Time are fairly infamous. I know the one after this is considered even worse than this one. This one is pretty bad, but after we have the infamous Jotuns of Blood, which I've heard very, very bad things about, and that a lot of people seem to have trouble with that one. So looking forward to getting to that fight, but we have another fight first, and we have a save point, but I think I'm going to leave here now. Only 7 floors until the boss is kind of surprising, though. That does mean less work for me getting back here, which is good. I guess the enemies being very strong makes up for it. I mean, I didn't make them look strong, but trust me, if you go into this area under-leveled, they will completely wreck you. I'm so glad I grinded. It took a while, but I really think you should be at least level 55 before going in here. You really did not want to see just how badly the enemies devastated me when I practiced this area before grinding. So, I don't know exactly what level everyone's at. Let me just quickly check. Everyone at 58, that's pretty much what I guessed. So, we can either use them for the boss or we can use others. I'm going to need to research the boss a little bit because, yeah, due to my old console dying and having to order a new one, I haven't been able to practice as much ahead as I would like, so I need to refamiliarize myself with this next boss. Anyway, I'll practice that and then I'll see you back here for that fight. But it's great to be back.